Okay, I've got a boss medley of 3 bosses that I want to show you with my Int Faith build, and I want to give some commentary this time. This one is just Fallingstar Beast. This is a boss that I want to fight to go get some gear for, or some loot for some gear rather. Gives you some nice smithing stones. Got everything set up here. Golden Order seal for the Int Faith, scaling, Frozen Lightning Spear when the enemy's staggered. Yeah, Ice Spear. Look at the damage on Ice Spear. Not only does that damage just scale so well with Int, but it's got Frostbite, which I don't think matters for Fallingstar Beasts, but even more importantly, it deals stance damage that's just very good. So even though I'm just demolishing this guy from range and up close, it's that stance damage that I'm really looking forward to. Break a stance, take a sip, let the Frozen Lightning Spear do its thing. I don't know how that lightning didn't hit him there, but it hit him on the second time. Let's actually go back and check that out. Too far. Or not far enough. So that hits him, huge damage. And then the lightning strike doesn't do anything. So yeah, the lightning was all behind him when it struck, which is just super weird. I think it's might be RNG affecting me there, which really sucks. But boss absolutely destroyed, a little bit overgeared, overleveled, but because the stats are split the way they are, there isn't a Int Faith infusion, there's just Int infusions and Faith infusions, and there's like only a few weapons that could possibly be Int Faith. Like the Clayman's Harpoon I could do Int Faith, but having the double Frostbite from Ice Spear, having a cold weapon, and Frozen Lightning Spear is just unparalleled synergy. Like that, being able to also infuse the Ash of War of Clayman's Harpoon to Giant's Hunt, or also Impaling Thrust, and just get that forward momentum, stagger an enemy, and then immediately go into a melee Ice Spear is absurd. It's a lot of good DPS, and there's potentially, even when enemies aren't staggered, being able to do a Giant's Hunt under an attack, and then a Frozen Lightning Spear over an attack, and get basically just huge counterattacks, and just build up that Frostbite. That is incredible. Super stylish too. Let's keep going. This is one of my back pocket bosses. I love to keep certain bosses in the back pocket if I want to test things out or just style out and have some fun. It's an Erdtree Burial Watchdog, and this is a weapon that I recommend you carry on pretty much any build. It's the Celebrant's Skull. It is the cheapest strength requirement for a Great Hammer at 18. So I have 12 strength so that I can one-hand wield the Clayman's Harpoon, and it allows me to wield this. And look at this thing, magic infused with Stormcaller. What a beast. What a beast. 34 int. Yeah, just brutally good. I love that. I put that on like any build. I put it on my pure arcane build, but that arcane build had so much jank going on with certain aspects that I was just like, okay, the game just doesn't want me to play this. Like I did two fully charged Flame of Frenzies on Astel right on his head, and it dealt 0 physical damage, like 0 fire damage, but it did deal stance damage. And that bug was just like, okay, well, all these mini things aren't letting me consistently get my synergy in. They're not letting me get my combos in. It's just painful, like RNG, and I would have to reload the save in order to get a satisfying experience. So, I don't have the USB for that at the moment, and I don't really have the USB slots. I've got a lot of them filled up right now on my PC, so it's like, okay, Miyazaki, you don't want me to play my arcane build? I'm not going to play the arcane build. And I've switched over to my quality build, that quality run. Love that. And I'm also doing this Int Faith build on the side, and it's so much fun and so much more consistent than all the jank that I was trying for Arcane. I will one day go back and try that Arcane, but it's not going to be pure Arcane anymore. There's definitely going to be some things mixed around with it. Probably Faith Arcane. Yeah, try that out. In Arcane, I don't think there's much synergy to be had with in Arcane right now. It's just goofy stuff. Hopefully that'll change with the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC, and maybe we'll also get some Int Faith infusions like a Golden Order infusion or a Death Sorcery infusion, that would be sick. Maybe if the Death Sorcery still had a little bit of Frostbite, but maybe not as much as Cold Infusion, that would be really cool. Let's move on to the final one now. Everybody's favorite boss, double Crucible Knights. Oh yes, we've got Ordovus and Spear Fella doing the classic buff routine. We've got everything set up. A little bit more HP now. Let's go in. And this is just like my fuck it, I'm gonna fight these guys moment, because I was really sloppy just getting poked by these guys. Usually I know Crucible Knights by now. I fought them so many times on my various playthroughs that I know to be super reactive. And I try to be proactive and get spacing and try to get off an Ice Spear here and there. And sometimes they just blast me right in the face like that. Sometimes I'm able to roll, but still I get poked quite a bit. Not the best scenario here. Still though, I'm trying to get Spearfella down because Spearfella's got ranged attacks that are a little bit more annoying. You've already seen. Here we go. There's that one. Yeah, don't like that. So I want to keep the I want to keep Ordovus somewhat passive while I just destroy the Spearfella from range here. Ice Spear, you see that damage putting in the work. Yeah, and here's where I say, okay, she's at half health or so. I don't want her approaching and them both being aggressive, so I'm going to load up the Frozen Lightning Spear. Again, what was that? Game. What the fuck? Miyazaki, what is this? The lightning didn't strike him, like he was just out of the way. What sort of trash RNG is that? That is awful. If I lost because of that shit and I just got counterattacked, like if he was at like 2 HP or something, I would be so fucking pissed. So stupid. Especially because look at that. Look at that right there. Look. Look at this. What happened to the auto? Stop. Play. Look at the audio. Or the visual. He gets hit. And then he gets struck by the lightning. And the spear lady also gets struck by lightning. It's a 3-in-1. I hit him like... I got 3 hits for 1 spell. And here we go again. 2 hits there. 867. Beautiful. We go one more time. I just want to kill the one in the back with the range of that back there. Super smooth, great coverage. Of course, I get to use it on a tool that scales with Int and Faith with my Golden Order Spear. And it's got that Frostbite synergy, so I got Frostbite proc on Ordovus. I foolishly tried to jump over his vortex there. It doesn't work. But, yeah. The overall damage is just so high that I'm able to take him out just fine. And honestly, for a fuck it we vibe sort of boss fight, considering it's one of the most painful bosses in the entire game, pretty great. I even didn't have the most suboptimal or the most optimal stuff. My gear was relatively suboptimal, especially in the armor consideration. This chest piece is for aesthetics. Everything else is great, poise-wise and all of that. My play wasn't too good. I should have gone out and gotten Golden Vow from Mount Gelmir if I wanted to be totally optimal, the spell, so that I could save something else for my offhand, and then I should have replaced the spear, the double spear, for something else. I don't know, maybe another thing, like, what is it? I have the Magma Staff, and I could use the Magma Staff to do something there. I don't think it's called the Magma Staff, but it scales off Int and Faith, and I have that upgraded well, so that I could do some damage with that thing. I don't know what sorcery I would use. I'm not sure. But it's a super easy swap that I could have done. I could have gone out to that Magma Staff and then something else like Meteor to just blast him. Or I could have swapped to Rock Slam, I think that's it. That's the int one where you just pierce him and you hold it down and you're just dealing all sorts of damage. Have a Digger Staff in the offhand and just shred him with that DPS once he's staggered. I could have done a bunch of things, but luckily the chunking was just so good there that it was totally fine. But yeah, strategy-wise, the versatility wasn't entirely there. It was definitely a messing around thing, and this is definitely a messing around playthrough that I'm doing off stream. But let's show the build now, what I have carried. Yeah, first try with this build on those guys feels satisfying regardless. Even if I might be fighting with relatively powerful options, the synergy is relatively unknown and I haven't done it before. Golden Order Seal plus 10, yeah, plus 10 Somber item. You can get that early. You get Volcano Manor 7. Getting all the way up to Somber 6 is not even a problem at this point. It's just getting to 7 that's an issue. The 8 and 9 are in Grail's Dragon Barrow. And then the 10 is you do, what's his face, Vare's quest. Go up to Altus, of course. And then you at the Writhe Blood Ruins, you invade Beastmaster Magnus, I think his name is. You kill him. Go back to Vare, and he's like, yes, give me Maiden's Blood. And then you're sent to Mogren Palace, where you get the Somber 10. So, Somber 10, you always got to have a good option for a Somber 10 on a build to make it good. Like, the only reason I'm playing my quality build, and I was really, like, curious about experiencing the quality build, is because getting that early Somber for a strength build was nonsensical. Like, there's no early, like, pure strength option for Somber. There's early quality, there's, like, Bloodhound's Fang. But I didn't want to use that because the RNG between stance breaking, you have to know precisely the stance meter on, like, every enemy in order to make the best use of that weapon. You basically have to fight enemies like they're scripted, and most times they're not scripted fights. So, really inconsistent with that. Really just speedrunners, glitchless speedrunners are super good with that weapon. And otherwise, the chunk damage I can do just fine with a variety of other weapons, as I've shown in that run. But yeah, the quality option that was best was the Dragon Halberd, because it scales primarily strength and dex, but more with strength. It was a very interesting strength-focused quality build option. And that was really your Somber option early there for strength builds. But it wasn't really strength. It was a mix. And so the quality run was born. Having this early Somber option is so good. This early Somber 10 option. I mean, the Golden Order Seal isn't even that early. It's Altus Plateau. Love the Altus Plateau in Mount Gelmir. There's so much stuff here. But, yeah, I mean, just so good. This is just magnificently good. Look at the incant scaling with these stats. Yes, so nice. This is basically this in the Gelmir Glintstone staff, the magma staff, is the only thing right now that scales off of Int Faith that's particularly good with combos like this. There's the Sword of Night and Flame, which I have in my back pocket. You know, I use that every now and again for dungeons and things, and grinding, and just dealing with tough random mobs, like the Kaled birds or what have you. That's nice. That's Int Faith, but it doesn't really combo with anything. It's a beast on its own. The Golden Order Seal and the Gelmir's Glintstone Staff combo off of other things. So it's really interesting to see the synergies that I can have. So this spear, I wanted double spears on my back pocket just in case so that I could have that poke and run moveset for the Crucible Knights. That never happened, so really this Golden Order Seal could have been in the first slot, and then I could have had the Gilman's Glintstone Staff here, and something in the offhand here like Meteorite Staff or what have you, just a blast, what have you. I could have done the Magma Shot, just because it is a good option for ground AoE damage, just lingering goodies for the Crucible Knights and the pain that they deal. But overall, I mean, it went much better than what I was expecting, considering my my mental state and attitude. I was just like, fuck it, we ball. And I killed them on my first try, which is super satisfying. Still, kind of a painful time. I don't know if they're capable of being slept, because I could try that. I have these St. Trina arrows here, and I do have a hand axe upgraded with some plus 6s, or some somber 6s. Not somber 6s, smithing stone 6s. I was thinking about, okay, well, do I upgrade the secondary Clayman's Harpoon with plus 6s, or smithing sixes. Sorry. No, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to have a secondary option, and one of the options that are really good for one-handeds is not as much swords anymore because two-handed the moveset isn't the best. It's axes, specifically the fast axes like the Ice Rind Hatchet. I've been making great use of that in my quality run, and then also just the hand axe in general with its super low requirements of like 9 and 8 or something absurd like that for strength and dex. I can just wield that on pretty much every run and make great use of it. One-handed moveset, two-handed moveset, put spinning slash on it for poison damage up front. It sounds like poison damage. Poise and damage up front. I get that staggering, and then immediately combo into something else. I could have it one-handed, use spinning slash, and then have the Golden Order seal in the offhand. I could also use it with the shield just to block, so I have the Twin Bird Kite Shield. And I figured with all these different things, I might as well have that hand axe upgraded because it's been pretty damn great for me. Definitely a sleeper option that I bought way later than I should have. Should have picked that thing up early and used it upgraded early because that's just a beast. It's just a beast. I love it. It's got a great jumping attack too. It's just the range is terrible. Like the range on that thing is nonsensical. But yeah, this build has been a lot of fun. And once I have the progression down and have all of the quirks and oddities ironed out, I might just do a playthrough for this setup too. I'll have to do a build showcase at the end when I have everything like plus 10 and plus 25. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. Oh my god, I'm loving this build. I've been loving the quality build. There's going to be more Elden Ring soon. Of course, ooh, still got that Valheim Brewing. But hope you've enjoyed this odd bit of commentary and analysis. Odd format, huh? Definitely for me. Thank you, and have a nice day. Well, I'll see you guys some other time. Bye.